It always comes to this. Hello there guys, back again to do another tattoo progress update. Where I last left off, I showed off my whole side and ribs and stomach and somewhere around my belly button. All that stuff that I'd done with Terry. So that all healed up. I'll show that off in a minute. Did more or less exactly what I thought it would, which you're gonna see here in a minute. It healed really easily. I had some bruising under the tissue, I think because some of those areas have been tattooed so long, they take a little longer to heal the deep tissue, but the top layer still heals incredibly fast, or if not incredibly fast, a lot faster than it ever used to. But the deep tissue takes longer. People are always asking me if there's any change in like how things heal, so I always want to make sure to let you guys know everything for the most part heals normal. But for example, when we did the blackout on my eye tattoo, like over top of the fly eye pattern, the sunflower pattern, whatever the hell you want to call it, that black in there was still healing when we hit it with the color. The top layer wasn't, but I could tell deep down when we touched it again, it hurt more than it should, and it didn't take very well because it wasn't fully healed. Somewhere deep down, sometimes it takes a little bit longer to heal the deeper layers, usually when you're working on scar tissue. So with that said, I'll show off what we have here from last time. So this is all peeled now. All of this is fully peeled. It was, a little bit dry. Just hit it with some green glide before making this video. I'm doing this on a day I don't normally come. Well, I normally come to the shop every day, but I'm not at work technically today. I like to come in and check the emails and make sure everything's good, no cancellations, all that shit. So I make my my vlog on Tuesdays, and then I make another vlog through the week. So yeah, this did more or less exactly what I thought it would. The blue and the purple went super dark while they were healing, and even while it was fresh, they were darker than they were going to end up. And the black, as I said, reasserts its dominance in the spider eyes. I knew that I had hit success with this when even in my shitty bathroom lighting at my house, I could see very clearly every color and everything that was going on here. And it doesn't come across incredibly purple or incredibly blue. It's almost like an alternative black, but it really does push the overall feeling of red, right? So even though it's not, I wouldn't say it's necessarily much more red in the balance than it is on this side. It certainly has a more red feel over here, and that's just because the blue and the purple accents that we put in between everything did exactly what I said it would in creating contrast. And this is where people should really be listening up if you're watching these vlogs, because I've been talking about this for ages, and I still get these basic questions like how long will a white ink tattoo last on black? And I'm almost not going to answer that anymore, and because I've given that answer a million times, I've said a million times over, you need contrast with any type of tattoo, and with this you need even more. So the reason why this has a more red glow to this side right now is because, not because the red is actually that much brighter, because it is, but that's not the main reason. Even if we had to just done the red again, it would not appear this red. It's that we backed it up with colors that contrast it. So the deep purples and the deep blues are what's making this look more red. That's also what's making this look more white. These look brighter over here on this side now. These white ink on black tattoos appear brighter than these ones do. They're not brighter. That's contrast. So if you want a white on black tattoo to stand out, you have to use other things. You have to use black, you have to use other colors, you have to use whatever else, but you can't just use white. If you just use white, it's not going to be that amazing. That's just the way it is. It's not a debate. I don't want to hear about white ink tattoos that are super clear with just, like, it doesn't happen very great. It doesn't work very great. These only work because of the black and the red that's around them. If this was just white, it would not be standing out that well. It just wouldn't. It might be there, but you won't see it for that far. Same thing. This is white and black on black. All of my work is white and black on black, color and black on black, whatever. You have to do those things. It's the same reason why I surrounded the white here with red. The red outline here and the red shading inside that moon made this moon stand out 10 times more than it did with just the white and black outline even. So, and as you can see, there's a blue base to black ink. So red contrasting it, and then going ahead with bringing the blue and purple in here, we ramped up that natural contrast that red has with the blue pigments and black ink just a little bit more, and you create an incredibly visible texture here. Like, that's not going to go away. And as I said, even if it lightened up or darkened a whole ton, you think that's going anywhere? Good fucking luck with that. I'm a little bit raw on that because there was recently another one of these very, very safe color on black tattoos that came up. Another one from Anthony Fleming, and I've been getting tagged in it all week, even on my alternative account on Instagram. I still don't have my main account back. It made the Ink Magazine post, and it's just like, there's nothing vaguely experimental about the territory that guy's in. I'm not trying to be rude, but all of that will just work if you do the work. With that said, he used a really muted color palette, so the results won't be as striking as someone like a Clayton Diaz. So I would have preferred that they featured him if they weren't going to feature, if they were going to feature color on black that was really striking and really interesting. I certainly wouldn't have gone to that one. Now, I understand that some people like things to be, beginner friendly and whatnot, but there are much more interesting displays of that work being done than some small flower on a girl's stomach. I'm not being a hater. It's fine. You did a good job. It's cool, but that's very basic stuff, and I've been doing much more intricate work over black for years. So I get a little nauseated being shown stuff like that all the time and seeing the comments like, but how will it hold? I don't know. There's a million fucking healed photos over black out there, you fucking lazy prick. Why don't you go look at one of those? Instead of typing, how will it heal, every time you see one of these, how about you go look for one? Anyway, I'll get off of that because I could go on and on about my feelings on people, social media, and how lazy people have become. I don't want to waste my whole day doing that. So, and by the way, this guy that some people love and some people hate, he's not changing with time either, by the way. You can go back and watch when we finished my chess piece and you can see for yourself. Same as all this. So if there was ever any debate about whether that was going to hold up, I think it's over. Now, that being said, I had another session with Rick. We got all this shit done in here. Because some of the lines are super faded on my elbow, all of that had to be redone. If anywhere is going to drop out, it's going to be my elbow. My elbows have been saturated probably more than anyone else's in the world, both of them. I would say probably 15, 20 times each. And I still have this callus. So that's not saturated skin, that's callus. I've had some people make some comments about my elbows when they show up in Remy Reacts and stuff. It's like, no. Believe me, no one in the world has had more ink in their elbows than me. I don't even think there's an argument there with how many fucking sleeves and variations on sleeves I've had. Fuck, this line has been run 5 times. Just on this sleeve. So that's not a debate. I'm not open to debate on that matter. With that said, bringing that color palette down farther, there will be more color to do in places here, but some of my skin with these tiny mag groupings that Rick uses, eventually it starts to welt up, and then you can't do certain things that you would like to that day, so you got to come back. But I was happy with the session we had, and we actually made some progress this time, so that's nice. You know, you have those sessions where you don't get a lot done, and then you get the odd one where you get a ton done. So, and for Rick and I, that's a good session. We got to come back and do all this underneath stuff once we get the outside done. So next week we'll be continuing the work that we've got here, down here. And since most of this has already been done once with certain colors, this will go really, really bright, same as this. Everything in here has already been passed. So the stuff that's already been hit once will take way better to the color than the stuff that's only been hit hasn't been hit with color yet. So this will be a lot better looking next week than it is. You can just take my word for that, but you could see in other videos past on this channel that the second pass or third passes of color always end up more prominent than the first passes. With the first pass of color on black, you're more or less laying the groundwork for something. You can leave it at 1 if you want. It's going to be a really subtle result. For example, some of this red on black here has only been done once, and it's been done, I think, probably 6 months ago, and it's still there. So it's not like it's going to go away. It's just not going to be really, really clear. And then you see there's other parts, like up here, and in here where that's been done twice and it's more solid. And then my arm, of course, being done 3 times is the boldest of the red velvet that I've done. So it really does scale with your patience and your dedication to it. And nothing good, you know, comes quick with tattoos. Nothing worth having comes easy with tattoos in general. And then when you get into the color on black realm, you really have to scale that out to a lot more work. This wouldn't be a colossal undertaking, this sleeve, if we weren't doing the most complicated fucking color scheme and most detailed, elaborate sleeve you'll probably ever fucking see by the end of it. I mean, this is ambitious for any skin, let alone someone's third sleeve, and who knows how many layers within all of those, you know. This would have been a hard sleeve to do and taken many sessions, even if it was on normal skin. So then when you go, oh, you're going to put it on black? Well, buckle up, sweetheart. You know, no wonder we're in 28 sessions right now. And that's how many it's been. I'm keeping track. I think we're on course for what I expected. But these next handful of sessions are going to be huge. And for a lot of people who have been disinterested or disenfranchised over the course of the last 6 months that I've been working on this, they're going to tune in again and they're going to be like, wow, you got a lot done. Like, oh, it's finally looking like this. It's like, yeah, you missed all the steps, asshole. Don't think you can walk into a tattoo shop and just buy one of those off the fucking wall, though. It's not how that works. If you're not going to be here for the journey, then you're not going to get the prize at the end of it. It's just the way it goes. You know, I have people that come in here, and it's so interesting to me, being who I am and doing what I do on a daily basis. You'll have people who want to get a whole sleeve done in a session or two, and they'll be disappointed that the artist didn't finish the whole thing in 1 or 2 sessions, and they're upset about the money that they've spent or whatever other thing. And it's like, you've spent fuck all, and you've spent almost no time in the chair. How about you have a little more patience? If people in general had more patience, the work quality would most likely be better too, just in all of tattooing. The fact that things are dumbed down and simplified so we can give people a sleeve in a session or two is not actually good for the industry. What would be good is if we had a more reasonable outlook on this and took it as a lifestyle thing or commitment. You know, for most people, they're only going to have 1 sleeve. Most people. So you would think that they would have an interest in taking their time with it, especially when you consider that most of the people who come in here for these sleeve sessions and they want them done in such a hurry, they're also the people that claim that they're meaningful sleeves. Like this, I got this from my grandfather, or I want this Spartan because I'm a warrior. You know, we have a cop that came in the other day. He wants a warrior sleeve, right? It's like all these important warriors throughout time. But I need it done in a session too. I need it done in 2 sessions too. I don't want to be doing this my whole life. It's like, you know, you only have one right arm, right? How about you fucking take your time and make it good? How about you don't rush the artist so they can give you a decent product? You know? It's interesting. Like, I'm sitting over here banking on between 60 and 80 sessions on this. And by the way, I do not proclaim that that should be the normal, but I do think it's odd when I'm doing that and I'm happy every step of the way. And I'm extremely thrilled with this session we had with these yellows and greens and blues and purples and some of the pinks that we're using in here. I think all of that is very fun and very interesting. And then on the other hand, we have people who are like, this is the most meaningful sleeve. None of your tattoos have any meaning. All of that is just junk. Why would you do any of that? Yeah, can I get my sleeve now? Like, this is important. This is for my grandmother, don't you know? It's like, I want this ready, hot and ready. It's like ordering fucking like $1.99 cheeseburgers at fucking McDonald's or something, but you're telling me they're also meaningful at the same time. That's very funny. Somehow more meaningful than anything that I'm doing, because what could this possibly stand for? I'll tell you what this stands for. This stands for the fact that I enjoy being tattooed. You know, that used to be a valuable thing. I really think it did. Now I think because it's become so approachable and we've opened the floodgates to everyone, more or less, you get the good and bad. You get a lot more customers and you get a lot more acceptance overall, but the whole art form is cheapened and you get a lot of this kind of misunderstanding and disinterest in the overall world of tattooing, and it's replaced by total impatience and sort of I don't know, petulant children mentality, where it's just like, I want my goddamn sleeve now. It's like, well, and you see all these big bold projects on Instagram that don't have a whole ton of detail in them, and this is why. And it's also why you don't get to see the healed version, because most people they don't want to see a real sleeve. They don't want that. They want a bright, colorful, perfect version of a sleeve that doesn't exist, and they want it now. It's interesting. It's very interesting. And I feel more and more alien to it as time goes on. Anyway, I'll show this off again. There'll be pictures in here that do a better job of it than me. It's really better that I end this one because I'm in a ranty mood, and it's not going to go well for anyone to listen to me for much longer. I'm sure I'll piss some people off already, and I'm more than fine with that. With my vlogs, I don't intend to piss people off, but it's certainly not an unfortunate side effect. I'm never going to hold my tongue, and that's just the way it's going to be. If I have thoughts on my mind when I make these videos, they're coming out here. This has always been my my journal or my online diary, I guess, and it will continue to be that way despite the mood I'm in. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day.